CMSportsNet is made possible by Genova's To Go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CM Sportsnet Game of the Week. It's Liberty taking on Westminster in a Carroll County boys basketball matchup. I'm Pat Stoetzer, and joining me tonight is former County boys basketball coach Dave Herman. Coach, thanks for being here with us tonight.
You're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it. The Lions are playing their first county game of the season, and the Owls are going after their first county win of the 2023-24 season. Liberty's 2-1 overall, with the one loss coming against private school foe Gerstel. Westminster 1-2 after falling to South Carroll on Tuesday in their county opener, a game that Coach Herman and I got a little bit of the action in the gym at Winfield. Coach, some quick thoughts about tonight's game between Liberty and Westminster.
Yeah, it's always a great rivalry. I think what you get with Liberty is, and what always sticks out to me with them, is that they don't really take bad shots and they don't beat themselves.
Right.
So really a hard team to play against. Westminster, very athletic, got the big kid inside, so kind of see who can impose their will on each other.
Early on, we'll see how that goes along the deck. We have some more pregame coverage for you before we tip things off, so don't go away. The game of the week will be right back.
Hungry? Genova's To Go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's To Go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's To Go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's To Go. Genova's To Go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg. For lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's To Go.
Go back to the game of the week. Pat Stoetzer and Dave Herman ready to watch Liberty versus Westminster in a Carroll County Athletic League boys basketball showdown. Liberty and Westminster split their season series last year. The Lions won 71-35 in Eldersburg. That's a game that Coach Herman and I watched on last year's game of the week. The Owls prevailed 66-57 on their home court a year ago. Like I said, Liberty's 2-1 and Westminster's 1-2. 0-1 in county play after that game on Tuesday. Time to look at the team stats coming into this matchup. You can see how these county rivals stack up. And Coach, Liberty, again, 2-1. This is their first county game. It's interesting to see Westminster's points per game and points allowed identical through the first three games of the season. Liberty's actually scoring about 60 points a game. That was a little bit of a miscalculation there on my part, but 60 to 62 and a half or so points allowed. So both teams kind of hanging in their games so far.
Absolutely, and Liberty, again, very, very sound defensively. You're not going to get any open shots against them. So it'll be, again, that'll be an interesting thing to see Westminster's offense against Liberty's defense.
Correct, yeah. Some players to watch in tonight's game, and they come from the backcourt on both sides. It's Cole Jernigan from Liberty and Micah Osgar from Westminster. Osgar led the Owls with 16 points on Tuesday in that game against South Carroll. Jernigan had 24 in their recent win over Marriott Raid. So a couple of floor leaders there on both sides of the court, Coach. And, both seniors, veterans. Jernigan's a transfer from 2 years ago, but, Osgar, again, boosted up that points per game with a 16-point effort. We'll see which of the backcourts can kind of take advantage early.
Absolutely, and Osgar, very crafty around the basket. He scored a lot of the points the other night against South Carroll, on the baseline, close to the basket. Yep.
Yeah, yep. Time to check the starting lineups for this game, and first up, we're going to see Westminster High School, coached by Steve Burns. You got Tanik Zita and Micah Osgar, we just mentioned, as the backcourt. Kyle Hoot, Charlie Molman, and Ja Donald, the football player, are coming off a great football season. The big man that Coach Herman was talking about, he's the man in the middle for Westminster tonight on their home floor. Over to Liberty now. The Lions come in their first county game of the year. Aaron Ball, Jaden Zumbrun, and Cole Jernigan sort of in a three-man guard rotation. And the size Liberty has, Alex Thompson, Tristan West. Thompson, 6'4", West, 6'4". They also have a 6'8" player off the bench. A couple guys over 6 feet, so Liberty can counter the size Westminster has with some depth size, and that goes a long way towards success.
Absolutely, and foul trouble is always an issue. Liberty looks a little bit deeper size-wise, but if Ja Donald can stay out of foul trouble, he'll be a handful for Liberty.
That's always a key. What does Liberty have to do, Coach, to win this one tonight, get their first county win?
You know, I think just always do what they do. They take really good shots. They don't beat themselves. They don't turn it over, and they defend very, very well. I think they shoot the ball well. With Jernigan, scores the ball really, really well.
Yes.
So I think if he plays like he normally does, they can neutralize the inside. I think they'll be in good shape.
And then for Westminster, we saw them lose a tough one on Tuesday. How do they bounce back and try to get a win here tonight?
Right, and Osgar, very crafty around the basket. We talked about him, and I think again getting Donald involved inside. He is tough when he catches the ball deep. He's really tough to handle. So I think trying to find him early and keep him out of foul trouble.
He didn't start Tuesday. He came off the bench, gave them some minutes and some points late in the game. But you mentioned the foul trouble. That's always the key for a lot of the big guys in the counties. Limiting the early fouls so you can give your team some of those first half minutes. And they will, Coach Burns will run 2, 3, 4 guys off the bench as well. So it's not going to be just a 5-man show on either side.
Absolutely.
There's some depth there on both. We see Westminster's starters coming in, being introduced, and then after that we will have the national anthem. And then we will be able to get underway here. Carroll County Athletic League boys basketball action on Friday night. We're glad you're with us on the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Coach, it's a couple of veteran coaches, but George Sinat is a rookie coach in terms of being the head man, but he's been there for a long, long time. And Steve Burns is a second tour, if you will, as Westminster's coach. How important is it to have, you graduate some guys from last year, but you got a couple guys who know your program very well. That's to ease the transition when there's a new season and guys trying to gel.
Absolutely. And, Coach Burns has been there for a while, so there's some carryover from last year. And then also Coach Sinat was under Coach Tomes for all those years. So, tough coming in a week before the season starts, but I'm sure it was a good transition.
We'll talk more about that as we go. Let's go now to the court and the national anthem. Coach, the size might be the key factor, and we're going to find out as this game goes along. How important is it for the visiting team, Liberty, tonight, just to kind of establish itself early? We got a long way to go here, but getting a little first quarter success could go a long way toward the new coach, some of the younger guys who haven't had a lot of varsity experience so far, get themselves into a good position to win a game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they had an outstanding JV team last year, and some of those kids are going to be, obviously contributing tonight.
Yes.
But I think, like you said, new coach, even though coach has been there a long time with Coach Toombs, and but I think anytime you have that transition of getting out early, hitting some shots, the game's always a lot easier when the ball goes in the basket early. So I think that's what, I think that'll help Liberty.
Let's get to the court. First quarter action is underway. Liberty in Westminster. And the opening tip controlled by Westminster. Always feels like, Coach, the first 4 minutes of the quarter are just important to sort of set the tone, and each team wants to, establish itself early.
Absolutely, and you always look early for those early fouls that might put one of the better players on the bench. So,
first shot from Liberty comes there, number 12, Jaden Zumbrin. There's a long three, and Westminster gets the rebound. So. Donald will spot up for a three. A little long. Rebound pulled down by Alex Thompson, number 10. Keep an eye on him tonight. And there's a layup there. Good from number 12, Jaden Zumbrin. And the Liberty on the board. Thompson missed a lot of last year, Coach, with an injury. Came back a little bit, or maybe he missed end of last year. I know Coach Sinat and Liberty staff excited to have him back healthy and really be a contributor there this year.
Absolutely. Very, very talented player. Can play perimeter, can play inside and outside. And there you saw Liberty's really good overplay defense. They get their hands on a lot of balls defensively.
Westminster will inbound on right in front of Liberty's bench. It's Will Molman, number 13. There's Zita trying to get it down low to Donald. And a turnover. This is Jernigan guarded by Osgar, our players to watch, and Jernigan draws the foul. That's his game. Get in there, use the athleticism, and make some things happen underneath.
Yeah, 2 early transition opportunities for Liberty. You know, they look to run when they have the opportunity, and twice now that they've had numbers on the offensive end.
So Jernigan will go to the line for 2. First one's good. Cole Jernigan, 6-foot senior guard from Liberty, came in last year as a transfer, helped them go to the state quarterfinals, win a regional title a year ago, and back as one of the key contributors for the Lions this year, and both of his free throws are good. So Jernigan's got 2, Zumbrin's got 2, and the Lions are out to a 4-0 lead. Donald gets through the paint. Perimeter shot there, gobbled up by Thompson, who has the rebound. Here comes Liberty again. In the corner, steps. Aaron Bald spotting up for a 3. Traveling is the call.
And again, Liberty looking for transition opportunities. Even there, you know, had numbers, had potential for an open 3 before the turnover. A little full court pressure from Liberty.
Osgar and Jernigan will probably see a lot of each other here tonight before the game's over. And a airmail there, but you mentioned how Osgar got a lot done. 15 of those 16 points on Tuesday came in the second half. That was pretty impressive. They needed him to come back to get back in that game in the third quarter.
Yeah, the game was starting to get away from him, and he really ignited them offensively.
Got it back to 3.
Yeah.
South Carroll pulled away for the victory. Tristan West, the big fella, will spot up for a 3. No good, and Zita with the rebound. And another unforced error. So the team that can limit those is going to be the team that's probably going to have a better chance to win just based on the early turnovers, and you don't want to give the other team too many opportunities this early in the game.
Absolutely. And, you know, not coming down and not getting a shot is always tough. And again, you got to give some credit to Liberty's defense there.
Would your jacket be off by now at this point, Coach?
Whatever Coach Byers has told me to do.
No, with Winter's Mill, usually give you a minute or so break. And there's a shot from Osgar and rebounded by Bald. So nice job by the guard to get the board. Oh, nice hands by Westminster to interrupt that pass, but Bald gets it back. And Jernigan will set up the offense. And yeah, I think he drew a foul there on Osgar.
He puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
He really does with his athleticism, right?
Yep, and he's very strong with the ball. Tough to take it away from. He can go left and right.
So we saw on the players to watch graphic in the pregame, he's averaging about 18 points a game and a 20-plus pointer the other night against Marriott Ridge. Liberty won 67-63. And that was a good bounce back for them after they had lost the game to Bristol. All these early games, Coach, right, just confidence boosters for whoever can come out on top in December.
Yeah.
Nice up and under, little strong, and another foul. A reach-in foul by Westminster, I think. But Jernigan just making his presence known already in his first 3.5 minutes of the first quarter. Liberty leads 4-0. CMSportsNet Game of the Week from Westminster High School. Thompson out top. There's West and Donald guarding each other. There was a foul down low.
Might have a first foul on Donald.
Yeah,
there.
and I was trying to duck out for a second and see who it was, but yeah, it was Donald, I believe. So baseline now for nice give and go. Yeah. Nice play by Thompson.
Well designed out of bounds play.
That was Zumbrin who gave it to him, and
another deflection
turnover
for Liberty.
Yep, Liberty on a roll right now. West gives it down low, and another layup, Zumbrin, and a timeout, Westminster. So an 8-0 run here to start the game for Liberty, coach. Exactly what Liberty wanted to do. A little timeout from Coach Burns, set things up. And we're early in this game, but we're both watching here, and what have you seen out of Liberty so far in the first few minutes?
Again, at least 3 or 4 deflections defensively, extra opportunities on the offensive end, offensive rebounds, Westminster fouling a little bit, Liberty getting to the line. Also, what you see about Liberty is their bigs can really handle. Right there, you saw West in transition.
Yep.
You know, it's 6'4", handling the ball and finding somebody. Makes it really difficult to guard when the bigs can handle like that.
Early on here, of course, plenty of game left, but an 8-0 start for Liberty, and a lot of their points have been coming inside, and that's success there for Lawton the Lions, because we know Westminster has some size. Almost another tip pass there too, and some pressure. Turn it over, and here's Jernigan. Fast break. Zumbrin. Couldn't ask for a better start halfway through this first quarter for Liberty. 10-0, and I think another turnover, and Donald off of his foot.
It's great to see when your best scorer is willing to share the ball like that too. In transition, you know, you find somebody for the easier shot. That's really good to see.
Lions fired up. They brought some students with them tonight behind the Liberty bench. And it's a 10-point lead here in the first quarter. 10-0 Liberty. Ball will take that short shot, and he'll hit it. Aaron Ball from inside the free throw line. 12-0 Liberty to start this game. Less than 5 minutes in. Westminster tried to get it down low. Tristan West. Rejection. That was number 12, Shea Greenwood. And West made sure no shot was there. Darnell Harkless into the game for Westminster, and there's another turnover. That's got to be a handful already, 5. Thompson goes up strong.
Another offensive rebound.
Here's West for a 3. Count it. Tristan West, 6'4" junior forward, can step outside, and another timeout for Westminster. Liberty, 15-0 run to start this game. It's an impressive start for Liberty.
Absolutely, and you know, again, defensively is where they're doing it. They're getting out in transition, and their defense is creating offense for them, getting them extra opportunities. And you know, again, your big steps out and hits a 3.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a recipe for success unless you're Westminster.
Yep.
You see Coach George Sinnottson out there talking to his guys. I mean, in a timeout like that, when you're on the other end of it and things aren't going well, I know you want to throw the jacket off and scream and yell, but you try to tell your guys, there's a lot of game left here. We just got to slow down, focus, get back into our offense.
And Westminster has you know, the tools to get back in the scores, and you just try to break the game down a little bit and say, okay, you know, by the end of the first quarter, let's cut it to 10, you know, and then, you know, we go from there. And truthfully, a lot of times in this situation, once that first basket goes in, you know, Westminster will be okay.
You take that sigh and that breath and you move on. Yeah, and there's still 3 minutes and change left in this first quarter, so a lot of time left for Westminster to get things going. Harkless draws a foul. He'll take a trip to the free throw line. So finally, Westminster has a chance to put some points on the board. 3:03 to go in the first quarter. Liberty 15, Westminster 0. Not a typo so far.
And Harkless got the start against South Carroll.
He did.
And really found people really well as far as distributing the ball. he's really tough off the dribble as well, so he may give them a spark here.
He just did give them the first point of the game for the home team. Coach Herman was with me last year in studio. We watched Westminster at Liberty. Liberty was a different look last year. Tyler Downs leading the charge, and they dominated that game. I can remember Downs with a sequence right at the half where he laid it up, stole it, stepped back, hit a three. It was just all Liberty, and so far that's been the case here. But we're early in this one, 15-1. Lions up as Harkless missed the second free throw. Liberty really passing the ball well, Coach.
They are.
That's West going in against Charlie Molman, number 23, and there's a chance for Westminster the other way. That's Molman there, sophomore, number 23, listed at 6'4".
He's got a pretty favorable matchup there.
Liberty wanted the charge, didn't get it. He'll take the three-pointer and hit it. Charlie Molman. Or was that number 12? Excuse me, that might have been Shea Greenwood for the three-pointer. Either way, it's 15-4. Thompson will try one from way outside, and he hits it. (18-4). Liberty with the big lead here early, first quarter. Action. Friday night CMSportsNet boys basketball game of the week. Glad you're with us. Here's Harkless being guarded by Christian Zarko. Nice pass down low.
Pass inside.
And that is Greenwood for two. So Westminster starting to get a little bit going on offense now. Still down by 12, and there's an easy layup there by West.
Liberty does such an outstanding job of spreading the floor. 4 out, 1 in on the post. Gives you a lot of opportunities to drive the ball. It's a great rebound right there.
It was on a short shot, and foul committed by Harkless. Foul on Zarko. Foul drawn by Zarko. Foul committed by. It was number 2 on number 2 crime there on that one, and it's Harkless gets the foul. And are they up to the 5 fouls? They must be. A new rule this year, of course, no 1-and-1s. After the team gets to the 5th foul each quarter, it's 2 shots the rest of the quarter. How do you feel about that new rule?
It's interesting. It wasn't around, years ago when I was coaching, but I asked Mike Triplett, who's in charge of the officials, like the rationale behind it, and he said, clean up the game.
It is.
Less fouls. Try to get kids to play defensively, not use their hands so much.
It promotes better flow of the game,
better
I think,
flow
too.
of the game.
Yeah.
So I kind of like it.
I don't mind it. I haven't seen it yet. This is the first time in a couple games I've seen the opportunities come. So hits the second one. 21-6 Liberty. 70 seconds to go. There's Greenwood for a three. Good ball, nice save by Westminster. Grayson Bradley, number 10 with the ball now. Hoot drives in. Will Molman, number 13, drew some contact. We'll see if that's a shooting foul. It is not. Spot foul. Under 1 minute to go, first quarter. Nice pass, Greenwood with the right-hand runner. No good. Rebound goes to number 22. That's Ethan Hart, the 6'8" forward for Liberty, is in the game now. Good passing again. Nice drive by Zarko. A little bit short. Bradley the rebound. Hands in the air. Intercept the pass. Aaron Bald. Oh, he altered that shot. I think they were looking for a foul, and they didn't get it called. That was Brady Bergen the other way. Here's Molman. Left the layup short. And maybe Coach Sanat says, let's hold for the last shot. Brady Bergen, sophomore, 6-footer, number 14 there, hands it off to Bald, and under 10 to go in the first quarter. Bald looks at the scoreboard. Thompson. Put back is good. At the buzzer, Ethan Hart. Johnny on the spot when you're 6'8" under the hoop. That's a nice way to finish the quarter. Liberty 23, Westminster 6. I know Liberty, I don't have it in front of me. I know they won the turnover battle, and that led to a lot of buckets by Liberty. I'm impressed, Coach, with how Liberty has dominated the first 8 minutes under the paint, or under the hoop in the paint.
Yeah, and Liberty does, kind of rebounds really well on both ends. They've gotten several offensive rebounds. They've controlled Westminster's size on the defensive end. But I think what jumps out to me with Liberty is their spacing offensively. Like even you saw in that drive right there, you drive to the basket, you get the help, miss the shot, which opens up the rebounder on the other side. So they're really spreading the floor, putting it on the floor, using their size. Their bigs are stepping out and hitting threes. And again, that's a really tough guard for Westminster's big to step out, take away the three-point shot.
Sure. There's not much George Snott needs to say critically against Liberty. If you're Coach Burns right now and they're talking in a timeout, how do you try to ease their frustration and tell them, hey, there's 3 quarters left?
I think Westminster just has to relax and take care of the ball. Those live ball turnovers are tough because not only are you not getting a shot, you're giving them transition the other way.
Right.
I liked how Westminster started to put the ball on the floor a little bit and get into the lane, draw fouls. I think and find their bigs. So I think continuing to do that. I'm sure Coach is just telling them relax. Again, we got 3 quarters to play. Chip away at it. Get it to 10 at the half, and then off we go. And also one other, I think Westminster just have to try to find an answer defensively.
Yeah.
Liberty is shooting the ball well, but Westminster's got to get some stops.
Right. Second quarter action. Let's get back into the gym and catch back up with our game of the week. Liberty's ball to inbound when we start. Hadn't mentioned this yet, but I'll take this chance now. It's an interesting storyline. Obviously, you mentioned Liberty has a new coach this year. Was long for many years led by Brian Tomes. The week before the season starts, he goes ahead and takes the job as athletic director at Westminster High School. And the first county game of the year at home is against Liberty, just as luck would have it. There's Thompson starting the second quarter with a layup. So, it's just fun to see the storyline create there. They play again. They'll play at Liberty. But, wow, nice play there. Jernigan for 2 more. That's 4 off the bat. And it's getting out of hand here in the second quarter. But anyway, just to see former Coach Tomes be here at Westminster in different colors is an interesting thing, and we'll have a few months to joke with him. He definitely is excited to be there as the AD at Westminster.
And he'll do an outstanding job. He was an outstanding coach.
I think I agree with you. Yep. I know he's excited about it. I know he didn't want to leave coaching, but on the other hand, the opportunity's there. You got to go for it, right? There's ball off the glass and good, and a 6-0 run to start this quarter. Boy, nothing is going right for Westminster. 29-6, Liberty leads.
And Liberty really forcing the issue, coming down in transition. If they have any kind of numbers, they're putting the ball on the floor and attacking the basket.
The basket, I was just going to say, they're not settling for the perimeter shots. They've hit a few of them, but they hit some threes, of course, too. They're going right to the rim. They must know and have scouted and saw a matchup they wanted to exploit.
Right, and anytime they're getting the ball in transition, like I said, they're going back, and even if it's a 4-on-3 or a 3-on-2 situation, putting it on the floor, either getting fouled, the person handling the ball, scoring the ball, or them finding somebody else. And Liberty, very, very unselfish. It's impressive to watch kids share the ball. It seems that they don't care who scores, just so Liberty scores, and it doesn't matter individually.
And it's spread out. I mean, Zumbrin with 6, Thompson with 7, West has 5, Bald's got 4, and I know we've seen a lot of guys share perimeter pass. The pass down low is right there. Right now, they're just taking Westminster to task, and it's been a huge start to this game for Liberty. Again, still a lot of time left. We're going to get back to the court. This much more this second. We're not even a minute into the second quarter. So I mean, you look at that scoreboard, you think, it's an uphill battle, and it certainly is. But Westminster has the time and they have the talent to get back into the game if they can. But right now, it is all Liberty. Call a foul there off the ball with, I think that was Zita bringing it up for Westminster. So no more one-on-ones, Coach. That's every quarter fouls reset, so we go again with 0 team fouls. When we get to the 5th foul, we shoot the rest of the way.
Shoot 2, right?
Yeah. It'll change the strategy, I think, too, as we go along in the season and everyone gets used to it. Another foul call there. That one was on.
Yeah, Jernigan. I mean, you think about it, if you just in this situation, Liberty gets 2 quick fouls. Now they obviously they're up, but they get 2 quick fouls. The other team can be on the foul line shooting 5 minutes in, 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in.
With 5 minutes to go, yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. See a replay there. That's like Jernigan reached in on Molman. Westminster just has to find some consistency here on offense. Nice drive to the basket. Was that Osgar? I think it was.
Tough around the basket.
Micah Osgar, number 4, his first points of the game. He is tough around the basket. When he gets a little crack in the defense, he can really get in there and exploit it. Long 3 off the mark. Nice tap rebound to Donald. Trying to get it down the court, maybe just a little bit too anxious, and turned it over deep in Liberty's end. And Ball will set up the offense again for the Lions. Thompson almost traveled and somehow got his hands on it. West has it up top, drives on Donald, draws the foul, doesn't get the bucket to go. And a couple guys talking to each other. Let's see what we called here. Maybe a technical for some chirping going on. Nonetheless, West will go to the free throw line.
And there's the dilemma when you have a kid like West that can post and put it on the floor. That big for Westminster has to make a decision. Do I come out and take away the 3, and then he puts it on the floor, or do I hang back and he already hit a 3? So.
Right. So there's the foul on the drive, and now they're going to sort out. I think we'll have some technical fouls administered, at least one. I definitely saw the technical foul signal from the referee right there in the foreground who's walking away. So it should be foul shots first, Coach, right, Coach? And then the technicals? Here's what you were just talking about. You have to respect the 3, and then West comes in and gets the foul on Donald. Talk to each other, some holiday greetings there as they were going back off the free throw line.
Officials did a real nice job of taking control of the situation.
Yeah. So here's West at the free throw line. First one's a little short. Tristan West, all-county tight end this year for Liberty's football team, led the county in receiving yards, had a really outstanding season, and comes right off the football field into the basketball gym and has been helping Liberty here so far. Gets the second one. So give West 6 for the day. Now there should be some free throws, and that's going to be Coach Brent. Oh, I guess no free throws on the technical there, but that was, you saw Assistant Coach Brent Stewart talking to Tristan as he come off the court. Relax, young man. We got a 20-plus point lead here. No need to getting kicked out of the game.
I don't know if that was Jernigan or not on that foul. That would have been a second.
He's coming out, so I think maybe you're right. He had just come off too, and had come back in. So, look, with a 30-8 lead, it's not the worst problem to have, but you don't want too many of your guys getting hampered here early with fouls. So Micah Osgar inbounds under the basket. That's Kyle Hoot over there, number 11, who had it for a second.
Brady Berger playing really good defense.
Across the board, Liberty's been solid on defense. Inbound, there's Osgar. Over to Zitta. Nice pass down low, little strong. Good job to save it. Osgar for 3, strong. Rebound by Hart. Not too many 6'8" guys in Carroll County that play basketball, and Ethan Hart's one of them. And he has his hands on that rebound there, too. Nice inbounds, but Westminster gets it. And there's going to be a holding foul, reaching foul there on the Lions. So now the Lions fouls, that may be 5. We'll see. I think they're going down to shoot.
Yeah, and here, just to your point earlier, the new rule. So Westminster's going to shoot 2 free throws on all the fouls for the rest of the half. It's a way for Westminster to get back in the game without the clock running.
Yeah, you stole my thunder. I was going to say the one way they know they can get back in the game with 5:27 left in the quarter is to shoot free throws, and now they're going to be doing so every time Liberty commits a foul. Of course, you have to make them all, and if Chris misses the first one. One thing never goes out of style, and that's make your free throws, right?
Yeah.
Work on your free throws and make them, and he missed them both there. And a rebound goes to Hart. And that's a deflating trip right there. You get the advantage of the free throws, and you miss them both, and Liberty has a chance to extend its lead. Little zone from Westminster, Coach.
Yeah, and Westminster's gotten an opportunity here with Jernigan on the bench with fouls. You may or may not see him the rest of the way with this lead, so an opportunity for Westminster to get back in it.
Nice pass down low. It's Hart for two. They broke that zone pretty well. And it's 32-8 Liberty. Baseline drive.
Hart doing a real nice job.
Yeah, that's another
on
rebound
both
for
ends.
Hart. Down the other end. Zumbrin, nice left-handed layup. Jaden Zumbrin gets the start tonight. He has 8 points. And Liberty is out to a 34-8 lead. And another timeout. Westminster running out of timeouts here in the first half, but they're needed. I mean, you got to try to stop the bleeding, right? You got to do anything you can to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, and again, you saw another example of Liberty coming down, kind of an unsettled situation, and they take the ball and they put it on the floor right away and aggressively drive it to the basket, and it creates another drive.
Yeah, and there's Zumbrin that finishes it off with it's just, they're making that extra pass, and every shot is being converted, and almost all of them have been at the hoop.
Yeah.
That's good basketball. I mean, I know you'd be saying the same thing if you were on Liberty's sideline right now. We're doing everything right for the most part. You know, if a couple first half fouls when you have a 25-point lead is not the worst thing ever, right? When you're up by that many points.
And again, key for Westminster getting back, when they get back defensively, of just being ready and sitting down and ready to take those drives, because Liberty's not pulling it out. They're driving the ball to the basket.
Right. Osgard doing what he can. Hart, another board. At least he helped deflect that board. And here come the Lions.
Nice set play out of the timeout. Got the look they wanted.
Hart couldn't hold it, but Liberty get it. Ball's bouncing their way. And travel maybe. There you see Coach Steve Burns on the sideline. Three-pointer a little off the mark there by Shea Greenwood, and here comes Liberty. Halfway through the second quarter, Aaron Bald will hit a three.
Again, the extra pass and Westminster not finding their man in transition.
It is all Liberty so far. There's a three-pointer off the mark. Westminster keeps it. Steps inside the key, no good. Harkless with the rebound, though, offensive board. But he put it on the floor, and it's going to be a dead ball. Whoop, let's see. Calling travel. Westminster travel going for the loose ball. And a dead ball turnover this time. Goes back to Liberty. 3.5 to go in the second quarter, 37-8. Lions in full control.
Westminster, some full court pressure here.
And goes right to Hart, misses the layup. Ball bouncing around, West has it. And Thompson will reset. I don't know if Hart maybe felt a little bit of defender behind him, and that time he made sure it went in. So 2 more for Hart.
Liberty doing a really nice job attacking that 3-2. Overload the baseline, look on the block.
That was a deflection there. Kyle Hoot tried to go up, and West got his hands on it. And here come the Lions again. And that's Thompson down the lane. And he draws contact. Short on the shot, but a foul. Call it on Hoot. And Alex Thompson will go to the line for 2. First one a little strong. Alex Thompson, 6'4", senior forward. I know he's happy to be back after missing most of last year with an injury. You can see it's already paying off in this one.
Very talented player, can do a lot of things.
He's got good IQ, it looks like, on the basketball court, too. He missed them both, and Westminster has it now. They got a man wide open underneath, just didn't see it. And the three from the corner is long, and the rebound comes out to Nathan Goodall. And I think Hart took a couple steps. He got caught that one a little bit too far away from the basket.
I'll tell you, a nice pass thrown up high to the bigs, which is where you want to throw it. And he just caught, great catch in traffic, just shuffled the feet.
Liberty getting a chance to play a couple guys out of the reserves here too. I knew Coach Sinat said they had a couple guys dinged up early in the year, so another couple will have to sort of fill that void. And tonight, and necessarily don't need it. 39-8 as we approach the.
Looks like Liberty going a little zone.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Yeah, that shot was a little long, and Liberty comes the other way now. Michael Martin, it's the first time I've seen him come in. Three a little bit short. And Westminster with the rebound, and they'll come down the other way. Here's Connor Harris, another football player, number 5. Cross-court pass. Now down low, I think that was Hoot with a baseline floater that was short the other way. Thompson with off the glass, doesn't go. Nice move, though. A little strong on the shot. And that's Harkless who draws a foul.
Nice take to the basket.
It was, yep. Darnell Harkless. Block called on Michael Martin. Let's see, there might be some blood. Thought I saw someone tap their nose. We'll see what happens here. Looks like they're going to have to switch shooters. So now it's going to be Tanik Zita, number 1, coming in. I think there might have been some blood on Harkless' jersey. So Zita's free throw is good. Just a third point so far this quarter for Westminster. And he hits them both. So they got to double digits. 39-10, Liberty leading Westminster. A minute and a half left in the second quarter. Somebody missed an assignment, and that's West with an easy layup. Harris with a three-pointer. Long, but he gets his own rebound. That pass down low, intercepted by Thompson. And ball goes to the basket. Hard foul, but kept him from getting to the rack, and I think ball will go to the line for 2.
You know, sometimes you worry in a game like this, or that can get a little chippy or some tempers.
Absolutely.
And I think the officials have done a real nice job of controlling the game. You see when there's a hard foul, they step right in.
Yes.
And just you want the kids to play and enjoy the game without any issues. I think they've done a real nice job of that.
Right. And of course, look, the home team's frustrated. They're down by a whole bunch of points. They didn't expect to be down by this many. And that's when some of those things could happen. Being physical, it wasn't a dirty foul, just a hard foul.
Nope. Good hard foul.
He doesn't want ball to go in and just score uncontested, so those are going to happen. But to your point, good job to sort of alleviate the situation. And so 2 more for Bald. 43-10, 1:04 to go. You see Bald coming off, getting some handshakes, well deserved. From the Liberty sideline. Three-pointer won't go. And Ooh, I thought he dribbled it off his foot, but they call it going to stay with Westminster. It's Grayson Bradley, their number 10, to inbound it.
No drop off in effort from Liberty's
None.
kids. You know, you said that they brought in maybe some of their kids that haven't got as many minutes, and again, the effort you see there.
And there's one right there, a little strong, good defense by Zitta to make sure that wasn't an easy layup, and it was not for Liberty. And back comes another interception. This is Thompson. Nice job by Thompson to avoid the contact, get the bucket. Three, no good.
Nice effort on the boards there.
Greenwood taken away taken out of bounds by West. Stays with Westminster, 9.4 seconds remaining. Liberty's not, you're right, the effort is not dropped off at all.
No.
Despite a 35-point lead. Poked away. And another deflection there at the end. Oh, fitting that that's how the first half ends. Westminster can't get a shot off. All Liberty in the first 16 minutes of play. 45-10, the visiting Lions are taking it to the home team Owls. As there's your halftime score, Liberty 45, Westminster 10. A little shocking that that's that big of a discrepancy. Coach, some thoughts about the first half. I mean, we just watched Liberty dominate like we have probably been a long time since I've seen a game like that. What impresses you the most about that first half for Liberty?
I think defensively, Liberty made it really difficult for Westminster. I think it was John Calipari was one of the first college coaches to keep track of deflections.
Okay.
And Liberty, probably a dozen at least. Really difficult, close the passing lanes down. And then, as we said, they turned the defense into offense, and they would come back and they just continued to put pressure on, put it on the floor, and again, the unselfishness of finding, finding their big kids. Hart played really well.
Yeah,
scoring around the basket and rebounding. Westminster, a couple missed assignments that gave Liberty some open shots, but I think Liberty spread the floor really well and attacked by putting it on the floor, finding their bigs, shot the ball well. As a coach, I'm not sure what you say at halftime. As in terms of Liberty, I mean, they just did so much well. I'm sure that they'll find something, that maybe they want to improve on.
Right.
But very impressive.
Very impressive indeed. We have more halftime coverage for you after this quick break, so don't go away. The CMSportsNet Game of the Week is coming right back.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg for lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.
Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
And each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast, presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels. Skill, dedication, leadership. Just a few of the things it takes to be named CM Sportsnet's Athlete of the Week. Each week, CM Sportsnet recognizes an outstanding player for their contribution to their sport. Meet some of Carroll County student athletes and join us as we celebrate their performance, impact, and outstanding accomplishments.
CM Sportsnet's Athlete of the Week is brought to you in part by Barnes Bollinger Insurance Services. We're here for the home team. Barnes-Bollinger Insurance Services, and by Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, Hanover, and Eldersburg. Genova's Pizza, Pasta, Subs, and more.
Welcome back to the game of the week. It's halftime at Westminster High School, where the visiting Liberty Lions lead the Westminster Owls 45-10. That's not your screen was not wrong, not playing jokes. 45-10 here halfway through our game of the week broadcast. Your first half thoughts, and we talked a little bit about it just before we took the break, but it's been all Liberty, and it's been an impressive performance so far for the Lions.
It really has. Defense and rebounding. You know, as a coach, I'm sure that they talk a lot about those things.
Yeah.
Liberty has rebounded the ball really well on both ends. They've gotten extra opportunities on the offensive boards. I don't know that Westminster's had but a handful of second chance opportunities.
If that,
And Liberty's defense has just really, really controlled the game.
Yeah.
As impressive as their offense has been, I think their defense has been equally, if not more. So.
And before we watch some of the highlights from the first half, I was impressed, and you've been saying this too, how well Liberty's been distributing the ball around and passing it. The extra pass has been finding the open man more often than not.
Right, and that's really a tribute to the kids and also to the coaching staff. That's kind of what's expected. It's like I said, it just matters if Liberty has more points than the other team. It doesn't matter who scores them, and that's very, very apparent how well they share the ball. If you want to be good, you got to share the ball,
right?
And Liberty certainly has.
Yeah, we saw what they graduated last year. One of the top scorers in the county, Tyler Downs. Who's going to replace him? Well, 4 or 5 guys are replacing him so far, and that's a great thing. I'm assuming if you're the coach.
Absolutely, and you're seeing some of their other players get opportunities, which down the line is going to help them. It's going to build their depth, and if you would happen to get an unfortunate injury as the year goes on, some of these other kids are really stepping up and playing well. And again, you pointed out there's no drop off in effort, and either way, even Westminster's down, but the effort hasn't stopped.
Correct.
And Liberty has brought in some of their other kids, and that just maintains that same effort, which is a tribute to the coaching staff.
Yeah, absolutely. Some first half highlights now to watch as we are halfway through the game here, 45-10 Liberty, and we'll take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. You're going to see how well Liberty started this game. And anytime you can get one of the big guys to come out and hit threes like that, Coach, it's a coach's best dream there. And this size has been dominating so far. Thompson, Hart, West, just the way they've been able to get under the basket. I like Alex Thompson's game, and he's showing it off tonight.
Yeah. Absolutely, and again, we talked about he's an inside-outside kid, can put it on the floor, can post. We talked about Oscar. There's a nice drive by him.
It was a good drive.
Really, really crafty around the basket.
Just not enough of those for Westminster so far, and there's another reason why. Ethan Hart coming off the bench, giving them some good minutes. Jaden Zumbrun got the start tonight. He's showing out, and just again, the extra pass, not missing the assignment, and converting in those shots. And we're going to see the team stats. That's the pregame team stats. We're going to hopefully get some team stats from the game. But so far, what's impressed me the most has just been the way that Liberty's been able to pass the ball. It's not just isolation game. It's not just Cole Jernigan, who's maybe one of their top scorers. Every 4 or 5 guys in a possession has their hand on the ball. That's a big deal when you're winning a game like this, and they are.
It is, and Liberty's doing a great job of putting the ball on the floor. And when Westminster comes to help, Liberty finds either one of their bigs or one of their perimeter players for an open shot or for another drive. So you're right. The pressure that Liberty puts on Westminster's defense with their movement and also putting it on the floor is really good. And also to give a shout out to the bigs, like they catch the ball too.
Yes.
And for big kids, especially young big kids, sometimes that's a challenge to catch it in traffic. But West, Hart, Thompson, all their kids inside catch the ball really, really well.
Second half adjustment's going to be a big deal for Westminster. Look, it's an uphill battle to say the least here. It may even already be in the books. We got a whole half to go. But what would you want to see your guys, if you're the Westminster coach, for the first 4 or 5 minutes of the third quarter?
Yeah, I think when you're in this situation, you want to see, okay, we're in this situation. It's not to say that we can't win,
of course,
but you're in a very difficult spot. You just want to see the effort. you tell your kids, like, look, we have 17 or 18 more games to play. Like, it's a long season. But I think you find out a lot about your kids and the effort and how they want to play together and that kind of thing in these next 4 or 5 minutes they come out and, play Liberty even. And again, you can really use this as a teaching time. Look, guys, for the next 4 minutes, we want to play Liberty even.
Right.
And, that's what we're going to do. And then, we're going to play those 4 minutes, and you try to build some positives out of
Trying to
really
win
difficult
those segments of the game, right?
Yeah, and you try to build some positives so that when you get out in the locker room after the game, if obviously if they don't come back, you can say, look, guys, in the second half, those 4-minute segments, we really rebounded well and try to take some positives into their next game.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the Carroll County Athletic League boys basketball standings. They're entering play tonight, December 15th. And we see that the standings from just before the other night, we had South Carroll and Century played each other last night. Century got the win, so Century is 1-0 in the county. South Carroll falls to 1-1 there. But these were the standings going into Thursday's games. Still early in the season, though, right? A lot of teams haven't played their first county game until tonight and next week, too. But you want to get those wins. We want to pile them up early to sort of give you the confidence, just like we're seeing tonight with Liberty as well, off to a good start here. Some county matchups on tap coming up in the next couple days before the holiday break is at the end of next week. I think we have some of those matchups for you here. Here we are. You got tonight's game. You got Man Valley at Winters Mill, of course, also going on today. It was a boys-girls doubleheader. Liberty gets Man Valley next Tuesday, and then Century has a home game Monday against Herman. Century off to a good start. Go figure. George Wonder always has his team off to a pretty good start. Before we get back out there, we mentioned what Westminster wants to do in this half. What's Liberty want to do to start the third quarter with such a big lead? Obviously, you want to keep playing your game, I would assume, but I would expect to see some liberal substitutions coming up here at some point. But if you're Liberty, like you said a minute ago, not much has gone wrong for you. What do you expect? What do you want to do in the first 3-4 minutes of the third quarter?
Yeah, and every coach kind of handles it differently. Some coaches will you're going to put your starters back in and say, go back in and give me really good 4 minutes. And I think if you're the Liberty coaching staff, you want to see that kind of effort, right, that you saw right there. And you don't want to get sloppy.
Correct.
And you don't want to put a sloppy second half together after such a really, really good first half.
Right.
And that's just really good effort there on Liberty's part, diving on the floor.
Clock running because of the discrepancy in the score. That's also a fairly new rule. And good job by Journey in there. I thought it was a travel, but if you watch it again, he never actually had his hands on the ball till the very end. So maybe a heads-up play, maybe just lucky, but obviously he slides across the court like that. Usually we call it travel. But the clock runs with a 25-point lead, I believe.
I think it's 35.
35. Okay, and there was 2 more there from the Lions. So, and again, just getting hands on the ball. And the starters are in, looks like. So the beginning of this quarter is going to be the starters for Liberty. And I don't look at that as any sort of disrespect, Coach. I think that's just you got to try to see what you've got early in the season. I want these 5 to start, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and especially, it's the third quarter. There's still half the game left to go. And, I'm sure, like you said, there's going to be some liberal substitutions, but you want to give these first kids an opportunity to, put a good chunk of the game together. Then he'll probably, sub them out.
Yeah, it's December, right? You're still trying to figure out the best 5 for you. We've seen Westminster has a different order than they had on Tuesday, so you're still trying to get that. This is my first time seeing Liberty in a game action, so haven't seen their starters yet. But I imagine if you're going to make some moves and shuffle some things around, December's the time to do it.
Right, and and Liberty is nice take there.
Mm-hmm. That's Thompson again. Osgar the other way. West. Foul. They're still fighting. They still want to try to win this game. Now, I guess the clock stops on fouls. Is that correct? I'm not sure.
It shouldn't. I don't think.
Okay.
Never had a lot of experience being up this many points, so I couldn't tell you. But
or behind. I know that's also the case. There's Osgar at the free throw line. The first one's good. Micah Osgar, senior guard. Really the kind of the spark plug on this Westminster team so far in the first few games of the season. Makes them both. Plus, he has a sweet head of hair, and I'm jealous. 47-12. and some pressure from Westminster here early on. Anything they can try to do to get back in the game, right?
Right. And it gives them an opportunity to work on that pressure. Unfortunately, when you press, you've got to give something up. And if Liberty makes the extra pass, you get the open look.
And Jernigan hits the 3, and they have 50 points with 5:45 left in the third quarter. Eerily similar to our last year's game of the week that was from Eldersburg. It wasn't quite this bad, but it became a very lopsided win. Nice job by Donald to get West off his feet.
Move by Donald.
Yep, it was a good move. A little half up and under, and it's 50-14. And the shot clock off on the running clock here, it looks like. And there's Thompson. Probably didn't have to do that when he went up underneath. Oh, he can't do that. They tried there to keep the ball in bounds. Harkless did, but so no shot clock also, I think, is part of the rule. And I guess that's to
move the game
favor
along.
The team with the lopsided advantage, and that's going on right now. Bounce pass. Donald deflects that out of bounds. Did they call a foul? Oh, they called a foul, I think. Well, I'm actually not quite sure. Maybe they didn't, but no, they did. They stopped the foul. So I guess the clock stops on free throws, or at least it does tonight. And Cole Jernigan will go to the line for 2. Missed the first one. Jernigan trying to get the second one here to go. And he does.
No drop off in Liberty's effort on the defensive end, continuing to play
not at all.
that same standard of defense that they always play.
There's a nice post move there by number 11, Kyle Hoot. His first points of the game, I believe. 51-16 now. So the clock is not going to be on Westminster's side for the rest of this half unless they can cut into that lead. And there's a 3 by Bald. But you still want to try to do what you were saying, Coach, right? Just try to win minutes at a time and possessions at a time if you can.
Right.
There's a turnover the other way. Bald, easy layup, and Aaron Bald having a night so far. 56-16. I'm not good at math. That's a 40-point lead for Liberty with under 4 to go in the third quarter. Not what we expected tonight, Coach.
No,
Our pregame talks and game of the week matchup. Expected a good one here, and credit Liberty. They've dominated this game from the start. The 15-foot jumper there by Osgar, a little long. And the Owls maybe will try to slow it down and work some half-court offense.
And you can have these nights where nothing goes right, and then, when it's over, and you move on to the next day of practice and the next game.
You burn the tape, whatever you want to do, sacrifice a chicken. I don't know what you do, but you could be on both sides, right? Everything goes in. The hoop looks like a hula hoop, and everything's going in. Or the other night where you plan as much as you possibly can and nothing goes your way.
Yeah.
You want to limit those games, of course, and if you're doing them in December, great. You just don't want to have too many of them go against a county opponent.
Right.
If you're trying to contend this year in the county championship race. But it's December 15th. There's a long way to go. Everybody plays each other twice.
And to your point, with the changing of the starters and things, Westminster may be a different team in January than they are now. And,
no doubt.
Teams change and evolve over time.
Yep, no doubt about that. Free throw was good by Osgar. .303 to go. All Liberty. To your point, Coach, they get him again January 19th in Eldersburg. So about a month from now, they will play each other again, this time in Eldersburg. Did the second one go in? I was trying to keep track.
Yes,
it did. Okay. 56-18 now.
Nice
And
patience
goes
on the
in
drive.
by Brady Bergen, number 14. 6-foot sophomore. So you mentioned some of the young guys that Liberty has, and we've seen a couple of their sophomores in action tonight, or at least Bergen. I'm sorry, we haven't seen Gavin Speaks, the other sophomore, but some juniors. Again, just the guys that we haven't really seen in the lineup in the last few years. Liberty's been very successful the last couple of years. They're the reigning county champions, and they're showing why tonight. So graduated a Shane Stewart and a Tyler Downs, and they haven't missed a beat so far. Offensive foul call here, I think. Legal screen, maybe.
Legal screen.
Yep.
And it is great for those kids that don't get to play as much. I mean, they come to practice every day and they work really hard. And in a game like this, the positive for Liberty is they're going to get meaningful playing time. They're going to get 5 or 6, 7 minutes of playing time. So that's good for those kids too.
There's a lot of things you can accomplish in a game like this, right? Obviously, you want the win. There's a 3-pointer there by Charlie Molman. This bodes well for the future season and some of these guys' minutes overall. Nice up and under there by Jernigan. 60-21. There's a bucket underneath. I think that was Zitta, number 1, 4-2.
And there you see Thompson initiating the offense at 6'4", out front.
Liberty stays with it. No shot clock, so they could work some time there. Hart tried to get one up and under, and not up and under, but up from under the basket, and it goes out of bounds. And ball will stay here, I think, yes. So clock running because of the discrepancy in the score. 60-23, Liberty on their way to their first county win. Jernigan takes the 3, no good. Thompson just muscles up for the rebound. He's having a nice night, Coach.
He is. And again, love how they have him out initiating the offense. And again, I don't know Liberty's team tremendously well yet, but that might be something they're working on. Of having him initiate the offense and.
Yeah, they know their backcourt's sort of set. Whatever they can get ball handling wise from someone else, maybe it is a guy like an Alex Thompson who certainly can handle the ball.
Right, and that works really well, for down the line. If you get in a playoff situation against a team that presses a lot. Sometimes you can, if they're really, really pressing up on your guards, you give it to that 4-man like Thompson that can bring it up against their big. So, there's, like you said, there's a lot of things you can work on, in this time.
Yeah, that quarter might not be the easiest one to sort of digest because it went so fast. We're going to see some of the highlights of what we just saw, but it's because the clock goes so fast there. Hard to sort of critique what you want to do on your offense or your defense because there's really no time for the clock to stop. We're going to catch some highlights here from the first 3 quarters here, or maybe just from the third quarter. It's just been all Liberty. I mean, there's really nothing else to really say, just how we've seen Liberty dominate this one from the get-go. And yeah, this is third quarter action. And that was an extra pass you talked about there. Jernigan hits the 3. Aaron Bald got a nice pass. Just their ability to see each other on the court. You'd think these guys were all seniors that had played together forever, the way they're distributing the ball and taking advantage of just fast break opportunities. It's just been really fun to watch Liberty tonight.
Liberty's done a really nice job of working inside and out. You saw in one of that earlier highlights of West having the ball inside. The defense collapse, kick it out for 3.
Yep. And the fourth quarter's underway with Liberty with the ball. They weren't quite set yet. So they got Martin inbounding to Zarco, so a couple of the guards getting some time for Liberty. I see Hart under the basket. So again, you got 8 minutes to try to 8 minutes that'll run unless there's a foul called. What can you accomplish? I think you still want to see what you can get out of some guys that maybe aren't everyday starters, but guys you're going to be relying on down the rest of the season.
Yeah, and you want to keep this, and I'm sure Coach will. You want to keep the same expectation for those kids. It's not just, and you can see the structure, the ball movement is the same. It's not just a free for all because they're up, 50 points. I'm sure he wants to see the same things out of these kids that he sees out of his starters.
Number 11, Scott Graball with a points there.
Nice rebound. Nice job moving his feet.
Cleared his own guy out and got the rebound. There's Zarko. Graball. Bergen put it on the floor. Dishes it to Martin.
Nice job
drive.
keeping it alive.
And rebound to Westminster after a miss. Bradley, bounce pass, intercepted. Number 11, Scott Grabau. And so Liberty's reserves just kind of making sure there's no drop-off. There's no drop-off in effort. There's no drop-off in defensive prowess. It's really been fun to watch. Again, like I said, it's been really a clinic Liberty's put on here tonight. 62-23, they lead.
There's a nice skip pass
That
right
was a
there
nice
over the
skip
top
pass.
of the defense.
Bergen's three, a little long. Westminster will try to run some offense. And they, too, have put in some guys that might not normally start. There's Grayson Bradley. Oh, and it goes in, and they're going to count it. And Bradley's not stopping, and that should be a chance for a 4-point play. Well, why not? We have a 40-point advantage. Let's see a 4-point play.
Yep.
Grayson Bradley gave Westminster minutes last year, and I'm expect to do the same again this year for the Owls. 5'10" senior guard. And he'll get a chance for the rare 4-point play.
Again, I'm sure Coach Burns, again, looking for that effort and making sure the kids, you play until the game's, absolutely over.
Absolutely, yeah.
And,
Still 6 minutes to go.
Looking down the line at a potential Liberty-Century matchup, it's interesting how both Liberty and Century both have, big kids that can play on the perimeter and play inside. So that'll be kind of an intriguing game to watch when, when they get together later on.
They're always fun. They're always a good rivalry. They're always close. They're always packed in the gym. And I expect nothing less this year. They're trying to get it to Bergen Hall there, the forward. There he is, underneath. Uses some muscle there. The fans want him to score. I saw the fans get up when he got that, he bodied up for that board. But again, that's what you want here, right? You want to see what you got out of some of these guys.
Yep. And again, great to see Liberty and Westminster's coaching staff. They're still teaching, they're still working, even despite the disparity in score.
Other teams will be definitely playing some contested, competitive rivalry games, but you mentioned Liberty Century. The first one is set for January 16th at Century, and then the next one is, the second one is February 9th at Liberty High School, and then who knows, they play a third time when it comes to the playoffs, which they usually do every year. Michael Martin bringing the ball up the court for Liberty. Nice flash there to the basket by Bergen. Couldn't find him. There's another one. Nice passes. Brady Bergen. 2 points there for the sophomore guard, 6-foot sophomore. 64-27.
Again, Liberty's still looking to make the extra pass, still taking no bad shots.
That's the game plan. They've been executing it to a T. That was Nathan Gittow, number 3, junior guard. And that shot's short. Gittow probably. 3-pointer, that goes in for the young man. So 5 points on 2 possessions there for Nathan Gittow. And I think we have a timeout. Why not, young man? Spot up and take a three.
Step right into it.
That's right. If it's there, take it. Gets a good pass, gets an assisted shot, and converts it. 69-27 full timeout on the court at Westminster High School. I know this isn't what Steve Burns and the Owls coaching staff and players envisioned when this game tipped off, and probably not what Liberty envisioned either when they tipped off. But if you're Coach George Sinat and staff, you'll take it. If you're Coach Burns and his staff, you'll maybe not want to remember it and sort of get back to work tomorrow and practice.
Yeah, and and this is one where they're going to talk about it tonight. They're going to do that kind of thing, and then when they come in the gym tomorrow for practice, it's all about preparing for next Tuesday night.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
And it's amazing how kids bounce back, very quickly, even after a tough one like this.
Sure.
And they'll have them ready to play next week.
Sometimes almost easier to sort of let this one out of your mind. Look, we were bad, we were worse than bad. Forget about it. Know how that felt, and move on to the next game, like you said. They actually have a game. They have a away game Monday at Glenelg, and they're home on the 21st to play Mount Hebron, and then it's holiday break tournament time. They're going to be at the Winners Mill Holiday Tournament, playing some tournament games there, and then we get right back into it in January with county games coming up against Man Valley, Gerstel, Century, Winners Mill. So plenty of season left. This is one game, and you're Westminster. You like to forget it quickly, but you also want to get back to work.
Yeah.
And same for Liberty. You want to celebrate the win and then get ready for next week. Nice defense there by Westminster. And there's a 2-point for Bergen Hall, the fan favorite. The 6'2" senior forward. The Lions fans going crazy. A long three-pointer in the corner. No good. And here come the Owls. Here come the Lions. That's Zarko. I think Gital's foot was on the line. Shot didn't go in anyway. Nice pass.
Nice pass.
And Bradley converts. Nice play there. So it's 6 points for Bradley in this quarter. And the Westminster just trying to finish strong, right, with the final 2.5 minutes here.
We got a shove away from the ball.
Yeah, elbow, yep. Things could have got chippy, and there's still 2:20 left, but obviously it didn't. And I think that's a credit to the teams, the players, and the officials for just making sure everything was, above board. Another Grayson Bradley bucket, jump shot, and let's see.
We had a push on Liberty on the rebound.
After the play. They called it couldn't tell if they called it intentional foul. They did. And so this will be Charlie Molman, 2 shots. First one goes in. A little long on the second one, 71-32. See Joe Levitt in there, 2 for the Owls, number 24, senior guard, right there at midcourt. Connor Harris will inbound the ball. And Levitt will bring it up. There's Harris. Three-pointer a little strong. Zarko will get it over the line with help there from Graball. Little fadeaway or spin around there, didn't go. A little short on the shot. 1:20 to go in this running clock, second half. All Liberty. Levin trying to get the board, and Zarko comes up with it. Baseline shot from the big guy. Why not? Bergen Hall a little short there on the shot. Nice
drive.
take. Nice take, yeah. Bradley again? Oh, that was Harris. It was Harris. So 2 for Connor Harris. Here's Ethan Hart. trying to drive from the top of the key.
Some of Westminster's, kind of second string kids getting some nice playing time here, and some of them, a couple nice moves to the basket, and playing hard.
So this should be the last possession here as Liberty's trying to dribble off the final 15 seconds. The Lions will improve to 3-1 and 1-0 in Carroll County with a convincing 71-34 victory. So the reigning county champs passed their first county test in a big way, and the Lions win their first CCAL game of the year on the road against the Westminster team that, I won't say they have to go out to the drawing board, but they certainly have some things to work on after this Friday night game here. They fall to 1-3 and 0-2, a second straight loss this week. Much more competitive in the South Carroll game than they were tonight, but I think that's a credit to Liberty and what they did. And we'll talk more about it here in a minute. But as we see the handshakes here and a couple of coaches who take a lot of pride in Carroll County basketball, Steve Burns, George Sinat, see some handshakes between the players there too. Competitive on the court, but hopefully, friendly off the court. Final score, Liberty 71, Westminster 34. Impressive victory for George Sinat and the Lions. Coach, we were impressed at halftime. Just before we get into the rest of our post-game coverage, just some quick thoughts on what you saw tonight, just dominant from start to finish.
It really was, and just going back to what we talked about before, Liberty's defense was just outstanding, and it was all five people. It was, ball pressure, it was help side, and then when the shot went up, they rebounded the ball, so it was really, kind of the epitome of team defense, and then again, taking the defense and taking it right to the offensive end, putting pressure on, not rushing shots or taking bad shots, but putting it on the floor, stressing Westminster's defense, not allowing Westminster to relax. Just really, really impressed. Again, the way you brought it up earlier, the way they share the ball, the way they play together, and even when the game got out of hand and they brought in some of their other kids, they the same standard that they had. And when you have a game like this, the winning team, it's like you say to your kids, like it's we're not maybe as good as 40 points better than them tonight. And then if you're on Westminster's side, this is not indicative of who we are either.
Right,
so
right.
So both teams, they're gonna move on. They're gonna come back to practice tomorrow, go back to work, and
try to finish the first before we get to the holiday break. Finish strong next week. We have some post-game coverage coming up for you here in a few minutes. We're going to have some more reaction to the game. Hopefully talk to number 10 from Liberty, Alex Thompson, after his huge game, too. A big Liberty win. Quick timeout here, and we'll be back to wrap things up. Don't go away. There's more Game of the Week coming right up.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg. For lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.
Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
And each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast, presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels. skill, dedication, leadership. Just a few of the things it takes to be named CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week. Each week, CMSportsNet recognizes an outstanding player for their contribution to their sport. Meet some of Carroll County student athletes and join us as we celebrate their performance, impact, and outstanding accomplishments.
CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week is brought to you in part by Barnes-Bollinger Insurance Services. We're here for the home team. Barnes-Bollinger Insurance Services. And by Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, Hanover, and Eldersburg. Genova's pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
Welcome back. Game of the week. Final score from Westminster, 71-35. A huge win for the Owls. We're going to go ahead and take a minute here and look at some of the highlights from tonight's game. Pat Stoetzer and Dave Herman enjoyed bringing it to you, and we'll catch the highlights here. And if we just really, Coach, we saw a dominant performance from Liberty from the moment they stepped onto the court until the end of the game. Before we get to the highlights, what stood out the most to you in terms of, we're going to go to the highlights right now, then we'll come back to it. But we saw some of this early in the game, and often just the way Liberty just took control of the game from the opening tip.
Yeah, and we talked about it a couple of times how Liberty with their bigs have the ability to stretch the defense. It really puts the defense in a bind because most high school teams are not going to have two inside kids that can go out and guard a 6'4" kid that can shoot threes. Right. Liberty spread the floor so well. Which enables them to get these kind of opportunities when you spread the floor.
Ethan Hart there for a layup.
Just really stressed Westminster's defense.
All night, and they had 4, 5, and 6 guys going to the basket and converting, and then when they didn't do that, they had chances like that where Aaron Ball hits the 3. Alex Thompson was in and out of the paint, scoring on both ends. Here you see him get to the baseline, just use his size, get right to the hole, attacking Westminster's defense, some mismatches that Liberty took advantage of. Here's early third quarter highlights, and Cole Jernigan was in there after a couple quick fouls, or not quick fouls, but fouls in the first half. Donald there, John Donald was still playing again. You mentioned Westminster. Look, they got blown out tonight, but they didn't quit.
Right.
They had some guys do some good things on the baseline. Liberty had some of their reserves, and at this point, that was Kyle Hoot there scoring for the Owls, but it was just too much Liberty. Even some of the guys that maybe you don't see a lot of times got some viable minutes, and that led to some success there too in the second half for the Lions.
Right. And offensively, anytime you drive the ball and you can get into the paint, you've immediately put a ton of stress on the defense. And in these highlights, you see time and time again Liberty drive to the basket, getting in the paint, and either scoring for themselves or finding somebody else. It's just you can't allow offensively or defensively a team to get the ball in the paint that much.
Grayson Bradley played well in the second half, just too little too late. So 71-34, I think I said 35. 71-34, your final score as Liberty gets the convincing road victory. And you always want to get a win against a county team. You definitely want to get a win against a county team on the road. Liberty did both things tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the road wins are huge. I mean, anytime you're playing in your league, the road wins are always difficult. It doesn't matter if it's, the top team against, any other team. We want to get the road wins, and early on, you want to stack them up.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen down the line, injuries, whatever, so you take those road wins where you can get them.
Before we take another quick break, and we're going to have a post-game interview, hopefully, with Alex Thompson from Liberty. A lot went well for the Lions tonight, but what was there one or two things that stood out to you the most? On top of the list tomorrow when you go into practice with them and you're the coach, hey, we did this really well, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I just think, again, the defensive end and the deflections, they just made it so difficult for Westminster to establish anything, even to establish Donald down low. Very active with their hands, but they didn't foul. As well as they played defensively, a lot of times you see a team that's really good defensively, and there's a lot of fouls. They moved their feet. They got ball deflections, no reaching and grabbing. As a coach, that to me was very, very impressive. And then on the offensive end, the spacing was just really, really good. How they spread the floor and got everybody involved. So I think those two things would be two things that you could tell your kids that they really did well.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was a Coach Cal special, like you said.
Yeah.
Coach Calipari deflection special. One more break here, but when we come back, we're going to chat with one of the players of the game. Hope we're looking for Alex Thompson. The game of the week is coming right back. Stick with us.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg. For lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.
Every Wednesday at CMSportsNet, it's Game On. Tune in for a look at Carroll County sports scene. Join me as we preview upcoming games, talk with the coaches, and bring you exclusive reports you won't see anywhere else. Plus, each week we'll unveil CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week. Don't miss CMSportsNet's Game On, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. We've got you covered. Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
Each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports Podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels. Skill, dedication, leadership. Just a few of the things it takes to be named CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week. Each week, CMSportsNet recognizes an outstanding player for their contribution to their sport. Meet some of Carroll County student athletes and join us as we celebrate their performance, impact, and outstanding accomplishments.
CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week is brought to you in part by Barnes-Bollinger Insurance Services. We're here for the home team. Barnes-Bollinger Insurance Services. And by Genova's to go. Locations in Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, Hanover, and Eldersburg. Genova's pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
This week's CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week, Drew Watkins, Francis Scott Key basketball. Drew and the Eagles are off to a really good start. Drew had a big week, and when we talked before the season started, you were a little bit unsure of how you might be in the post because you hadn't done much post. Well, 30 points later in the first game. How do you feel like you did the first two games of your season getting adapted to a new position?
I think, surprisingly, I think I've done pretty all right.
Okay.
Definitely with the help of my teammates, my family, obviously, and my coaches. Coach Scott stepped up and kind of taught me some post moves. I don't think I used that much, but like I'm still learning. So then, just working off my other teammates, just being able to go up with that.
So it is a work in progress, but obviously you know how to score the basketball. You've been doing that for a couple of years now. What's the most thing, or the one or two things are the most different of when you are asked to go down there? Like what have you been working on to try to make you the better player that you can be counted on by your teammates?
Probably going up through pressure, because I know I tend to like fade away, or like I have in the past. And the past 2 years, I've definitely been working on going up through the pressure and being able to practice that with my teammates, and then putting the pressure on me just to be able to pursue that in a game.
You said you're working on some post moves with Coach Core and Coach Mitch as well, the whole staff. How much extra time are you putting in of just maybe learning a couple things about grabbing that extra rebound or going back up with it, things like that? Is it every day, or is it just a little bit here and there as you get ready for the next game?
Definitely a little bit more like here and there. just like when I have time, like off to the side, if I come back from a water break early, like before practice starts, if I, like we do a shoot around for 5 minutes, if I'm doing that, Coach Scott will come over, he'll be like, oh, here's some more moves, and yeah, so stuff like that.
So far, so good then, right? A good start so far, 2-0 going into this week. We talked before the season started, though, about chemistry and how you guys have been together for many years. I asked Caroline about this, too. Can you already tell right away that it's paying off, that you guys have been playing together for many years now? You graduated who you graduated, but you got a lot back from this year. It showed with 2 wins. How excited are you to sort of get things going now and get the season underway?
I'm super excited. Like I said earlier, it's a family. It's not like you don't play with a team, you play with a family. You can compete with a family. So being able to have those connections, like you kind of like read each other's minds. There's times Summer can make like a dime pass all the way down the court, or Abby like gets a steal, and we all know she's gonna go make it because she's just that good. So I mean, it's great.
Well, certainly off to a good start. Good luck the rest of the season, and congrats on the first week. Drew Watkins, this week's CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week.
CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week is brought to you in part by Barnes Bollinger Insurance Services and by Genova's To Go.
Hungry? Genova's To Go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's To Go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's To Go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's To Go. Genova's To Go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg. For lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's To Go.
Every Wednesday at CM SportsNet, it's Game On. Tune in for a look at Carroll County sports scene. Join me as we preview upcoming games, talk with the coaches, and bring you exclusive reports you won't see anywhere else. Plus, each week we'll unveil CM SportsNet's Athlete of the Week. Don't miss CM SportsNet's Game On, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. We've got you covered. Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
Each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels. Skill, dedication, leadership. Just a few of the things it takes to be named CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week. Each week, CMSportsNet recognizes an outstanding player for their contribution to their sport. Meet some of Carroll County student athletes and join us as we celebrate their performance, impact, and outstanding accomplishments.
CMSportsNet's Athlete of the Week is brought to you in part by Barnes Bollinger Insurance Services. We're here for the home team. Barnes Bollinger Insurance Services. And by Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, Hanover, and Eldersburg. Genova's pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
Welcome back. Game of the week, post-game coverage here. Liberty 71, Westminster 34. Dave Herman and Pat Stoetzer back in the studio. We're trying to get Liberty's Alex Thompson. We're going to hopefully get him here in a few seconds. It's a very intricate maze underneath Westminster High School down to the locker room, and they got a lot to talk about tonight in that big win. If we can get him, we'll go to him. If we don't, first off, just we talked a little bit about what a win like that can do for you early in the season. You get any win on the road against the county team is huge. The win like that convincingly, I was thinking about this during the break, just could it be a big springboard for a team like this that won the county title last year, graduated its top scorer, and doesn't know where it's going to go as we start the season? How could this really get them going in the right direction like that?
Right, and not to mention the coaching change. And like we said, kids are very resilient and adaptable, but the fact that they're saying, okay, coaching change, lost a lot of kids from last year, that kind of thing, and kind of starting to pick up where they left off. I think it's huge because there's new roles, new people in different positions, and that sort of thing. And to jump out like this and put some wins together is obviously it's nothing but positive for Liberty. And again, as a coach, you're going to try to find things that you need to improve on, and you want to tell your kids it's not always going to go like this.
Right.
And but these games once in a while, it does build your confidence when the ball goes in the basket and you play that kind of defense.
And on the flip side of that, you Westminster, you took a tough loss. You can turn it around and say there's a lot of season left. We can get rid of this in the rearview mirror and don't forget it. Forget about it as much as you can and move forward, knowing that we don't want to have a game like that ever happen again. So you can look at it and then flip it around and say, hey, we got a long way to go if you're Westminster.
Absolutely, and you have to, right? Because you have 17 or 18 games left to play, and you said they play Monday, so they're going to get one day of practice, and you have to forget it because Monday you're going to be playing again, and you don't. As a coach, and I'm sure Coach Burns is saying this, like you never want that one negative experience to turn into 2 or 3 because we're still down about this game. So we're going to forget it. We're going to work really hard in practice tomorrow. We're going to prepare for Glenelg. We're going to go play Glenelg on Monday night, and we're going to get this thing going in the right direction.
And then exactly. All right, I believe we've got Alex Thompson from Liberty, the victorious Liberty Lions. Alex, first I want to make sure you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay? You there, Alex?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, great. Hey, congrats on a great game. Congrats on a great game. How much fun was that? Did you expect a game like that? I know you don't ever expect to win a game like that, but as that game started and you took control the way you guys did, what was that like on the court tonight?
It was very exciting just coming out, running our stuff, getting things done. It was great to have a big victory like that. We definitely needed that.
What surprised you the most? Obviously, I know you want to win all these games, and to get your first county win on the road is huge. What was going so well for you guys? You were able to get such a big lead early on and really take control of the game early like that.
Honestly, just pushing the ball down the court fast. Just keeping the pace up the whole game. Just keeping it 100% all game and just moving fast and really just spreading the ball around the court.
Yeah, we were watching the game from here in the studio, and that's what Coach Herman and I were impressed with the most, your ability to pass the ball around the perimeter so much. How much have you worked on that during this early part of the season to make yourselves that much more of a threat? Because everyone touches the ball.
Yeah, we definitely worked on it a lot, losing some guys. We have to build chemistry around the team and just, at practice, moving the ball around, getting everybody involved. Just, it all comes from practice, really.
I know you missed a lot of last season, if not almost all of it with an injury. How stoked were you to get back into this year healthy and come out strong? And like you said, take the place of some of the guys who graduated last year. It's got to feel pretty good about being out there and contributing like that right now.
Oh, yeah, it feels great. Miss a lot of season. You miss a lot, and just, coming out there strong and just getting the wins.
Yeah, Coach Herman, got a question for Alex?
Yeah, first of all, Alex, fantastic game tonight. As far as the defensive end, you guys played really well defensively. Got your hands on a lot of balls and that sort of thing. What do you give credit to as far as how well you played defensively? Like, what do you think the key to your defensive success was?
I think we have a very good zone this year, and our size, we have a lot of size this year, so we can throw a lot of different guys in there, get guys in and out, and just always having energy within our defense, and just getting guys in and out, and always having people that can come in and just really cover all over the defense.
Well, it definitely showed tonight, Alex. We're going to let you go. Hey, congrats on a great game. Good luck the rest of the year. Stay healthy.
Thank you.
All right, there he goes, Alex Thompson. We liked his game from the beginning. I know he's motivated to play because he missed almost all of last year with an injury. When you have a guy like that comes out and he's healthy this time around, and he's a senior, that's all the motivation you need, right?
Yeah, and he seems very hungry to play, obviously, and it's always so disappointing in high school sports when a kid loses almost an entire season. Thank goodness for him, if it had to be, it was his junior year and he gets his senior year. So it's just always tough to see, but it's great to see kids bounce back. And you always use that as a coach to tell your guys to appreciate every practice and every game because it can go away really quickly with an injury or something. But really, really great to see him bounce back and have a good start to the year.
And it wasn't just him. Aaron Bald, Jaden Zumbrin, Cole Jernigan, of course, Tristan West, Thompson, you throw Ethan Hart out there. They're putting together a nice little rotation at Liberty. I mean, I think people looked at Liberty and said they had a great year last year, county champs, well-deserved, won a regional title, but they lost one of the leading scorers in the county. How are they going to replace that? And then on top of that, unbeknownst back then, they lose their coach who goes off to become an AD. Those are two big blows. So far, I know they had the loss against Christelle. They haven't missed much of a beat.
No, and there's a great culture in that program. I mean, it's Liberty and Century and a lot of the programs, they have a really good culture. And those younger guys saw the way the older guys did things, and there's a standard there that's all up and down the program. That they've kept part of their staff together. There's a lot of continuity there, right? And so they understand the way they're supposed to play and what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and they showed it tonight, definitely. Don't forget, we're going to be bringing another Game of the Week broadcast on Tuesday, December 19th, just next Tuesday, when Francis Scott Key visits Winters Mill in girls basketball action. Emily Miller will join me in the gym. Our first time we're going to try that one, and we're looking forward to it. So it's FSK at Winters Mill on the girls' side. And, of course, our weekly show is called Game On. I know Dave Herman never misses an episode. We've got you covered on all things Carroll County High School sports. The show premieres every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You won't want to miss it. We got one coming up for you next week. We'll give an athlete of the week. We'll show some highlights of the last couple games, and we'll look forward to some big games on the schedule coming up. Be sure to catch all of our high school sports content online on Facebook and YouTube, as well as our website at CMSportsNet.com, and you can watch us on cable channel HD 1086. We're going to leave you with some of the highlights from tonight's game. Thanks again, everybody. For Dave Herman, I'm Pat Stoetzer, and we'll see you next time.
To go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg. For lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.